Hey everybody, it's Chris from Holy Trinity, and this is the first week of Advent. It's this really cool time of year that the Catholic Church celebrates in preparation for the season of Christmas. But there's something kind of unusual that happens in Advent. It breaks a little bit of the temporal flow of our lives. We tend to start in the past and move towards the future, and that's just the way it always goes for humans. But Advent allows us to flip that around a little bit. Most people think that Advent is about looking backwards at the story of Jesus being born, or looking forward to the day of Christmas coming. But in fact, the season of Advent captures all the movement of human history in one season. It focuses on the past, and the present, and the future, all under the theme of hope. So, looking backwards into the past, we remember how the Holy Family prepared for the coming of Jesus. We read the stories of the Annunciation, where the angel Gabriel comes to Mary and to Elizabeth and to Joseph. We read about the birth and the announcement of John the Baptist. All that happened in the past. And we remember and we thank God for the events leading up to the birth of his son. But we also look forward to when Jesus Christ comes back to the earth. The day, the parousia, or sometimes it's called the eschaton. All fancy old words that mean Jesus is coming back one day. And we don't know when that is, but Advent is also a time that we prepare for his next coming. The third movement of Advent is when we try and recognize how Jesus Christ is making himself known and making himself present in the life of the church and in our lives individually right now. Through love, through kindness, through the sacraments, most especially through the Eucharist. So in Advent, we look back to how Jesus came, forward to how he'll come again, and we look closely at how he's coming into our lives right now. Advent to the past, in the present, and towards the future. So here are a couple of ways that you can diversify your Advent practices to make sure that you're capturing all three of those movements. You can look backwards with things like Scripture, or study the lives of the saints and look at how Jesus expressed his life through the choices that they made, their actions, their faith, and their prayers. You can look at the present through a self-evaluation and do a good examination of conscience. There's tons of them online, they're all free. Go to confession. Go to confession, especially if it's been a long time. Jesus is trying to enter into your life right now, so get your heart ready. Open it up. Dust off the cobwebs. Do some adoration every Friday at our church, or come anytime to the Eucharistic Chapel and pray. Or pray as a family. And if you already pray as a family, kick it up a notch and try something a little more traditional if that's out of your normal. An Our Father, a Hail Mary, and a Glory Be. Or, if your family has a very traditional prayer style, try and open it up a little bit and offer some time for spontaneous prayers or petitions. And finally, don't forget about the future. Jesus is coming back, both as victorious King of the universe and also as judge of the human heart. So, we prepare the world for the coming of the King by establishing his kingdom. You can look in Matthew's Gospel at chapter 25 for the place where he explains how he wants us to prepare the way for his next coming. So, I hope that you can find a way to up your Advent game this year by turning your attention to whatever part of the timeline tends to get overlooked. Spend a little more time looking at Jesus in the past, a little more time examining what your relationship with him is in the present, or a little more time working to prepare for the coming of the King at the end of time. Happy Advent.